permission to film
My
this.
mother is a born and raised high priestess in traditional African Benin voodoo and also traditional Haitian voodoo. When I turned the age of 28, I took my vows and went through the rites and rituals, and I became a high priest of Haitian voodoo as well. So not only am I a Louisiana plantation voodoo priest on my dad's side of the family, initiated on my grandmother, my mom took me right to Africa, then we had to go back home to Haiti, and then we had to come back here. I'm born and raised in not one, not two, but three forms of the religion. And as y'all heard me tell y'all earlier, I'm almost 40 years old, and I'm the only male voodoo priest in this whole city given to us. Ain't that something? Woo! I'm not bragging, I'm complaining. But everything y'all about to see up in here, this is all straight from Africa, Haiti, and New Orleans. So, tout le monde bienvenue. Welcome to New Orleans and Louisiana from me to y'all. That's Thank you. Come on. We're going nowhere. We're going I just want to make sure the drunk people.
Yeah, we have permission. He's actually encouraged us to share this with everyone so they can learn, which is great.
And remember, you can take photos. Come on. Timbalo. Where are you? Alright, we're going to go ahead and get this all set up. Y'all can watch me do this recording. Feel free to move around over here. There's an old office left behind. This is from yesterday. I already know who left this. My cousin Sonia left this. She had these on her ears yesterday. But she left this as an offering right here. And I think somebody must have pulled out all the stuff because they clean the park once a week. We do ceremony out here every Sunday. I'm inviting every last one of y'all to come. So if you want to see real voodoo in action from authentic people who are born and raised in this, versus that bullshit over there inside the French Quarter.
Can you hear okay?
Versus that bullshit over there inside the French Quarter. I'm talking about Sally Ann Glassman, Priestess Miriam, House of Hoodoo. These people ain't from here. This girl, House of Hoodoo, and I want y'all to record. This girl, you can get on her Instagram right now. Every time she makes a post, she can't decide if she Dominican, if she Floridian, if she Mexican, if she Brazilian, if she can't pick one. Girl, pick a struggle. Just because you brown don't mean that you part of the culture. So, I gotta just come out here on Sunday at 3 o'clock if y'all want to see all this shit for real in action. We always start off with a base of rice for our outside offerings. Notice the rice. That's bad English. Notice the rice is white. That is hard to say. The rice is white tonight. All right. It's gonna be a new song. I'm trying to think of a tongue twister to people who say it right in English. Anyway, rice represents all of our ancestors. You know how many grains of rice are inside these things? How many ancestors you have? You know, it blows my mind how people are racist in 2023 because they say, well, my parents are white. Yeah, but what about your grandparents? You know, you got 4 of them. You got to double that to get the rest of the set of grandparents where they all came from. You got to quadruple that to get the next of the where they all came from. Yeah, people are still racist, not realizing every last one of y'all, no matter what country you come from, none of y'all pure. Y'all all mixed. Y'all know what that means? Y'all, some of y'all gonna hate me when I say this. I'm allowed to say it because I'm black. All y'all niggas. Yes, I'm your cousin. We all cousins. There's only one race, human.
Exactly.
I keep telling people that, but nobody want to believe me. But Lord, they want to come out with this universal this and universal that for everybody. I'm like, well, you can't do that. Just give it to the black folks because apparently we all different from y'all. Give us all the money. Y'all need to be poor. All right. That's going to be representing our ancestors. Now, the black beans are a representation of all the physical ancestors. So these are your grandparents, your parents who are still alive. They still your ancestors just because they're alive. I mean, they come from them. So we usually leave an offering of white rice with black beans right here. Now, how much you want to bet my cousin will go to that car and try to bring back every last bag of fruit and vegetables I got up in that car by himself? I asked him for one thing, he'll bring the whole thing.
I can assure you he is. He's having with me right now.
Look at that. I told you. I'm gonna.
Thanks, man.
Y'all know.
Don't bring
Thank you, Amma. Merci. Merci. The shit. Oh, you. Ain't nothing that is still. Ain't nobody gonna take nothing. Alright, so I got some other stuff here that we're gonna be using today. I was gonna wait till the end and then was gonna do this, but since he run the whole thing, we'll just do it as we go. So that way y'all can just record in one swoop. and we can go from there. So this tree that you see that I'm leaving, the white rice with the black beans beside, significant. This tree is planted by my ancestors when they were enslaved. So when they were out here picking cotton, well, in the French Quarter, they were enslaved to the people who owned them. But around the French Quarter, outside the city of New Orleans, is a bunch of plantations. Normally, the slaves would spend 6 months in the French Quarter, 6 months on the plantation. Well, when they were here, they actually had Sunday off, and I'll go into more detail about that coming up. And on Sundays, they would hop the wall and come over here and integrate it with the Native Americans. But the Native Americans told them about which areas and which places around in this space where we're standing right now was used for spirit, used for foraging, or used just for whatever. So my ancestors got together and planted a whole bunch of these oak trees in a circle to represent West Africa, the circle of life. This one is planted for the spirit of the ocean, my mother. Her name is Yemeya, also known as Yamoja or La Sirene, depending on the language you speak. And for all of you who speak those languages, you know that just means the mermaid. That's all it is, or the siren. I don't know why Disney lied to y'all. Y'all need to be pissed off with Disney. Disney got y'all thinking that a mermaid is a little pretty little pale-skinned white girl with red hair sitting on a rock singing, I don't know when, I don't know how, something started right. Yeah, bitch, you just hit puberty. You literally just hit puberty. That's why you looking at Eric like that and getting your cheeks turning red. Do y'all know that sirens, first of all, they not white, black, purple, green, yellow, orange. I'm so sick of that bullshit. That is a made-up creature. Can we talk about that? Second of all, they eat men. They are not nice. They literally eat men. They are women dominant, which is a wonderful thing, by the way. We need more of that in this country. But yeah, the mermaids are not like some pretty little whatever. They are gorgeous, but they eat men. Yemeya is no exception. She has long flowing black hair. She has seashells all in her hair, long flowing blue tail. But let me make the Americans uncomfortable real quick, Australia. Her zozo. Oh, let me say that in English. Her penis. She has one that goes all the way down to the ground, and it drags at the bottom of the ocean collecting jewelry. And then she brings the penis up to her face like this. She takes all the jewelry off, puts it in the hair, she decorates herself with it, and then she drops it back down. So when any man falls in love with her, he's going towards her on the boat because she got some girls up here now. And they be lusting, going towards her. She just smiles, and as soon as they get close, she'll say, "Look behind you." And when they look behind them, there's a penis. And they drown in the bottom of the ocean.
Sounds like Thailand.
Sounds like me. Did you say Thailand? I gotta go to Thailand. Real quick. Any questions before I start talking about sexuality? That's not part of it too. Because I will go. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and lead this. Because I already know what she's praying for. And if y'all notice, there are shells. Because remember I told you she was an ocean spirit? There's shells sprinkled all the way around the tree. But you'll notice something about these seashells. Y'all notice that these seashells are not striated like the ones you get out the Gulf of Mexico and all the other oceans. That's because these are not Yemeya seashells. These are freshwater seashells, not saltwater. The reason is because Yemeya gave birth to a spirit of the river. Her name is Oshun. We're going to talk about her coming up in a few minutes. Very powerful spirit. If y'all want to know what Oshun looks like, Exhibit A right here. The yellow top and the khakis. Yeah, that's Oshun all right there. That pretty face, that gorgeous smile with them pretty eyes. Pissed me off when I was like that. Any questions before we go? I'm on to bring all this stuff out here. I got to tote this.
You want a hand?
I got it. Cousin trying to make sure I'm taken care of. You good, cuz. I need to grab my bag. They got, you hungry? They got bananas. All right. We're gonna head on, oh, this heavy?
You sure you don't want a hand?
I'm gonna try my best to do it myself, but I'm not scared to ask for help.
All right.
I'm one of them people. Like, if I need help, I'm gonna say, can somebody help me, please? There we go. Well, my daddy say, always do it yourself first. Let's go.
So we're in the Louis Armstrong Park, and this is...
That's family. He's concerned on his sake. He said he's making sure we all right. So,
Renata's here somewhere. Oh, they're hiding behind me. So this is actually a free walking tour, but you pay by donation. Yeah. Try and get up close.
We get to do a little ceremony. Put down your pipe. And then this goes for the prayer today. Okay. I'm paying him for the work. Never work for free. Y'all know that, right? Slavery ended a long time ago. No, it didn't. Because every American woman on this tour today is enslaved. Y'all know that, right? So some of y'all look confused. The government owns American women's uteruses.
Oh, yeah.
That's slavery.
Yeah.
100, look up the definition of slavery. Like, really, I'm not just saying, oh, you're just applying that one word to something extreme. No, I'm not. That's literally what slavery is, owning someone's body. Okay, I just want to see how many people I'm pissing off. And I love pissing people off. All right, take a look at this. Notice there's already a bed. Okay. Betita. Come up. Yeah, you can't see back there. Your man fine and tall, but you short and beautiful. Come on over here, and you're pregnant too. Come stand right here. Yeah, so you can actually see. There we go. Because we're gonna be doing a prayer for all y'all ladies right now. So there's a bed of rice, but you'll notice there's metal. See the metal? There's also red beans here, white beans. I'm trying to find the rest of the metal. There was metal sprinkled all around here. Also, there's a dried pepper, the long dried pepper that's left there. Crow feather. Crow drop a feather in front of you on your front door. Always leave a pail of water in the moonlight to stop the evil from coming into your house. That's an old expression. Now we found out, thanks to science, it's not evil, it's just energy. Because energy can neither be created or destroyed. It can only be used and redirected and has always existed. And the pail of water in the moonlight does the exact same thing. So the black feathers for protection as well. This tree was planted for the spirit of protection. His name is Papa Ogun. In Haiti, his name is Papa Ogun. He's the spirit of the forge, metal, protector of all women. He carries two machetes. What's English? Machetes. He carries two machetes, and he chops the heads off of men who do women wrong. He does not play. So if you a man and you mistreating a woman, no matter what version of that woman she is, he will come up behind you and see that little thing that you find so precious, men. Shut. By the way, men, women were here first. That's just an inverted vagina. We'll talk about that science in a few minutes when we go to the magnolia tree. All right. So I have $1 out. I'm gonna teach y'all some voodoo today that you can do by yourself at home. This tree was planted for Ogun, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be an oak tree. That's a common misconception. It just so happens down here in the south of the United States, the oldest trees that we have that grow to live the longest are the oak trees. Wherever you come from, any old tree on your family land, your land, like you could bought your own land and just moved there, whatever old tree that you have there is a spirit tree. So you can use that spirit tree whatever way you want. I know I have a bunch of witches on the tour today. Y'all are very familiar with this. Very familiar, because they leave more offerings than we leave. Like witches, sometimes I think y'all leave too many offerings. Because they be piled up like in a mound full of earrings and fruit and all that kind of stuff. Like, y'all love spoiling y'all spirits, don't y'all? And y'all gods and goddesses, which I wish a lot of Christians would take note of that. Because they always want God to protect them, but they never want to go to church. They never want to leave the offerings in church. They never want to take their communion. They never want to put the work into the actual church itself, but they want God to bless them and vote against their own interests. And that blows my mind. It blows my mind. I'm defending my good Christians on the tour today because there's a difference between being a Christian and being in a cult. I'm going to repeat that. There's a difference between being a good Christian and being in a cult. If you're part of a Christian sect that requires you to leave your home and change total strangers to suit your personal comfort levels, that's a cult. If you go to church and you worship God and praise Jesus and you go home and don't tell nobody about it, that's a religion. Boy, I'm pissing off the right people today. Some people frowning up, people getting upset, and I'm loving it. I'm sipping the tea. All right, here's the spell. Y'all, wait, hold up. Y'all gonna say spell, but we don't call it spell. We call it work. We call it travail, which means work. So work, spell, conjure, whatever word you want to use, that's what we're calling this. All right. So to protect your home and your family, you're supposed to take $1 and any note of whatever country you come from, as long as it's the paper lowest, long as the lowest paper currency, you tear. I'm gonna do it backwards because y'all facing me. You make a tiny tear, not a lot. Tiny tear for the past, because that's where you used to be. A tiny tear for the future, because that's where you're going. And a tiny tear for the present, because that's where you are. Then you fold the dollar up. You say the prayer of protection of what you want. I'm praying for protection for this baby that's about to come out of here. That this baby come out nice and healthy, punching all the doctors in the face and paving the way for mom and dad to pay off college so they can become future president and represent everybody on the planet. Once you say that prayer, I meant that prayer, baby. You can come out and man, you can get a high five. Once you say that prayer, take a brick, and it can be any old brick you find. Put the money there. You go to your sacred tree. Uh-oh. We forgot the bed of rice. You got to make your bed of rice to represent your ancestors, because remember, you stand on the shoulders of every person that came before you. So you always got to represent your ancestors. There we go. Alrighty. I'm going to take the crow feather because crow feathers in my religion are used for protection. I'm going to lay it right there to protect everything. Oh, I thought that was one of my relatives. And then you take the brick with the money. You just put it right there. And then you always leave it. Let the elements take care of it for you. So if it rains and all the rice wash away, let it. It's just rice. It's going to feed all the plants in the area when it breaks down and decays. If the dollar's still there, leave it. Then that's a good sign. That's going to bring you luck. If the brick is still there, leave it. Leave it all alone. When you do your prayers, forget about your prayers and put your faith in whatever deity that you actually worship. That's how prayers get answered. Prayers are just spells. That's all they are. They're just spells. Energy goes up. God takes that energy, or goddesses, or gods, whoever you worship. Use that energy to answer your prayers and send that energy back down to give you what you want. That's how prayers work. So no matter what religion you're a part of, y'all do this, you may just do it in a different way. Do we have any questions? All right, that's a lot, but we got to move on. We got to go to the magnolia trees because now I got to talk to y'all about a little bit of history. Some of this history going to piss some of y'all off, like for real. Simply because truth hurts, but I got to talk about it. And I had to reteach my own self and rethink my own self for some of this history. But it's going to be a brief history lesson about what voodoo actually is and some slavery and some other uncomfortable topics. Any questions? She wants to know, do the squirrels tend to let me tell you something. They steal, we got voodoo squirrels. They eat all the bananas, they eat up all the apples. They got apples in there if you want some too. They eat up all the offerings, but they're allowed to because our religion is based around saving the earth and worshiping the earth through God, who's the universe, and so to preserve the earth. So the squirrels are allowed to eat the okra, they're allowed to eat the fruits, the vegetables, or whatever. Now we might get pissed off because it may not look pretty after they little bite marks and stuff up in there. We try to take our little pictures and stuff on our little social media, but they're allowed to do it. Remember that you're giving back to the earth to save the earth. That's what the prayers are for. And yeah, your personal protection and other things too. But they do. The squirrels get into so much trouble. We got two squirrels that live in that old tree over there called Jeffrey and Jane. I named them Jeffrey and Jane. And Jane gave birth to like her 13th litter like recently. She don't know litter number 13. Now we got a bunch of inbred squirrels running around the park because they know the new squirrels being introduced. So yeah, there's a whole family of squirrels. They'll be dead soon. Sooner or later, them genetics gonna kill them. Any other questions? Well, come on, y'all. Let's go do it. Follow me. They had an emergency. I was wondering why the ambulance was here. Somebody must have passed out. That happens all the time.
How amazing is this?
We're live on YouTube. Guys, any money you send on YouTube, I'm going to pass on to this wonderful gentleman because you're getting knowledge from this, so I'm going to pass it on to him.
Y'all see them? You ought to see them in bloom. Oh my God, they are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And a lot of people don't know you can eat the petals. Don't eat the berries. You'll be dead as a doornail. But you can actually eat the petals and make tea out of the petals and stuff. It's actually really good. You okay? Okay. All right, just making sure because Well, you and you, but my
Kind of
sister, she's hanging
spot here
back.
somewhere.
I'm like,
Alright, I'm trying to find a spot I
oh,
can.
girl, don't be scaring me like
Can,
this.
yeah, can
Yeah,
I
she's doing her
suppose in
job, I
here?
guess you say.
Thank
If you
you.
need to sit down, look, here's a secret. All right, the magnolia trees are planted for Yemayah, the ocean spirit. I mentioned that she gave birth to the world. Yemayah is the mermaid. She's the mother of everything. When she was giving birth to the world under the tutelage of God, Ogun, the spirit tree that we were just him, he has a hammer and an anvil. And it said that he got so excited when she was done giving birth. He took his hammer and his anvil and he just hit it as hard as he could. And that created sparks. The sparks created all the stars inside the sky. So whenever our ancestors die and they pass away, that's why our ancestors go to reside so they can watch over us here on earth. That's our creation story and the reason why stars are always continue to be born in the universe. Now, you know, we combine science and you know that science and religion are the same thing?
Yep.
I'm going to explain it to you. Science is what we don't know. I mean, science is what we know. We know exactly how it works. Religion is what we don't know. We just know that it works. As soon as we find out how it works, what do we call it? Science.
Yep. Yep.
One is what we don't know. The other is what we do. So all y'all religious people on the tour who been like, well, I don't listen to scientists and this vaccine, this and all that bullshit. Do you know if they would have said that shit when polio was going on in the early 1900s, how many of y'all wouldn't be here right now? I just want to throw that out there. I'm not anti-vax or pro-vax. I'm just telling y'all dumb as fuck not doing y'all own research. That's all I'm saying. And Google and Fox News is not research. And all y'all CNN watchers, y'all know they also not good either. Y'all better start checking some sources on some university websites. All these opinionated motherfuckers. They going home getting paid. Your ass going to sleep angry at the world for no reason at all because of what you've been told.
Yep. Yep.
Don't make no sense, do it? And then they want to come out here and call people that look like me the N-word just assuming that I'm some gangster or something because I'm black and I'm going, I'm in story. I like Nintendo. I ain't got all A's in school. Does that help you think I'm better or something like that? That don't mean nothing. That diploma didn't do shit. It really didn't do shit, y'all. I created this myself. All right, I'm sorry. Let me get to the history so we can move on because I'm ready to show y'all some more stuff. And we got a cleansing to do today. And don't thank me for that. Y'all thank my family from Australia who's doing for that today. So we're doing a cleansing. We're doing an actual ritual where I'm going to give you an opportunity to do some prayers yourself and also leave some offerings yourself. And then we're going to talk about some ancestor altars and also some other stuff. So we got a whole bunch of stuff lined up, but I got to get through this history. Bing. All right. What the hell is voodoo? Think about it. Because Hollywood got y'all... Mama. Oh, hold on. Let me find me a fine man. Hang on one second. Oh, here you go one. Come on, baby. Come on, G5. Come stand right here so everybody can see you. All right. I was just checking out his butt. I literally was just checking out his butt. That's what I was doing. All right. You off kind of... You handsome. Thank you. Yeah, but... This yours, girl?
Yeah.
Y'all want you to get this? You ever dip your toes in chocolate before? Let me teach you an expression. Okay, forgive me, okay? Forgive me. What my other people? What my sister? Look, all my people of color on the tour today, forgive me for this one because this is our expression. All the people of color know this expression. But look at me, baby. When you go black, you never go back. But when you go white, you get your credit right. All right. I needed one thing from him. What's the one thing Hollywood said I needed from him? That's why I got so close. I needed his hair. That's what Hollywood says. And now that I got his hair, Hollywood says in order for me to make you fall in love with me or to hurt you even, I can make me a voodoo doll in order to get my revenge or make him love me. So we gotta make the voodoo doll look like you. The green hat, the blue shirt, and the khaki shorts. What the fuck you wearing today? Why you let him walk out the door looking like that?
I have to always be sure that I look better.
I got you. All right, so that's actually legit. Okay, so take the hair, put it on the doll. Boom, now it's activated. Now I got a needle. According to Hollywood, anywhere I stab this doll with the needle, he's gonna feel the pain. So Virgo stabbing his arm. Stab his leg.
Oh, ow.
Go back, I can't do it. got me, y'all, for real.
We will, absolutely. Tip him well.
I'm trying not to laugh right now. All that shit made up. I'm sorry. Voodoo vampires, that's the one that gets me all the time. And it degrades Wiccans. I don't know if I have any Wiccans or witches on the tour today that identify as such. I'm so sorry that the Hollywood keep doing that shit to y'all. They keep taking Africa and Europe, combining them together, not realizing the pagans were freeing the Africans and the Africans were helping the pagans. That's a piece of history y'all don't get to hear about because they want y'all to think it's always been black against white, Christian against non-Christian. That's not the case. These people who are enslaved and indentured servants, I hear you Irish, I got you Irish, I got you Irish, and my other Germans on the tour today, I got you, don't worry, I'm gonna talk about it. When these people were captured and they had to try to be worked off their servitude, do you know there's a bunch of pagans, as in European pagans, and also Africans who were free, sneaking to get these people out in indentured servitude and also these people away from slavery? But they don't want to tell y'all about that because they want y'all to think it was black people only helping black people escape. Fuck India, right? India had nothing to do with this, right? Now, mind you, the Indian people were over here freeing Africans. They were buying Africans and just letting them loose. Just like, nah, that's stupid for y'all to enslave people like this. We're going to buy these people and let them go. But you won't find one, and I mean India as in India. I'm not talking Native Americans. Stop calling Native Americans Indians. Y'all too old for that shit now. That should have ended in the 90s. They are not Indians, they are Native Americans. But I'm talking about India. Them gorgeous people over there with a good ass food. Came over here and set these Africans free, but you won't find one Indian name on the record showing that they did something like that. That's how deep racism and religious discrimination goes in this country, but also around the world. Whenever you got good people helping others and only the bad people get the recognition. Because supposedly they built the country. Now realizing the slaves are the ones who built the country, the white people just enslaved them to do it. So, what is real voodoo and how does this tie into slavery? Duh, we West African. Now during the West African slave trade, by the way, Voodoo is 6,000 years older than Christianity. I'm going to repeat that. Voodoo is 6,000 years older than Christianity. Who's older than us in West Africa? The religion of Ifa, the religion that we branched off from after the elders got into a disagreement on how to worship God. I just want to throw it out there. We're 6,000 years older than Christianity. When we were brought here through the West African slave trade, they didn't just land here. Y'all know South America got hit harder with the slave trade than any other place on the planet? Mexico had West African slaves. That's how we got Santeria, baby. Brazil had West African slaves. I love me a good Mexican. Y'all eat too much food, and then y'all want us to go out there and start dancing on a full stomach. But, and the rum, oh my God. They don't, you know how here in Haiti and the United States we pour our rum like this? In Mexico? So, Santeria. Brazil, that's how we got Candomblé. Cuba, that's how we got Palo. Haiti, that's how we got Haitian Voodoo. Dominican Republic, that's how we got 21 divisions. Jamaica, that's how we got Obeah. Palo, Ifa, Candomblé, Obeah, Lofumiki Banda, Santeria, Vodou, Mayombe. All the same religion. The only difference is, y'all speak Mexican Spanish, we speak a French Creole because we're not French, etc., etc., etc. So here's the setup for the religion. This is the one that throws a lot of the Christians off. We worship God. Y'all do realize that means that we don't do black magic if that's the case, right? Because God would never give another person free will over another person. So all that shit Hollywood told you about the powder, you ever seen the powder that which I think is them smarty candies they done ground up that we used to do when we were little kids. They don't look like, and they say it's supposed to be a voodoo zop. Like that. You know, Trump ass have been dead a long time ago if we had that power. I just want to say that because that man is not Republican. Let me defend my Republicans on the tour. That man is not a Republican. I don't know why y'all think he is. That's an extremist. That is Adolf Hitler.
Not a Christian.
And not a Christian. And if y'all don't believe me, look at Trump's policies and compare them to what's his face, Hitler policies. They're almost verbatim. But y'all still want to vote for that motherfucker. Let me get out there.
He had his Mein Kampf book on his nightstand.
I'm pretty sure they confirmed that, as a matter of
Yes, they
fact.
confirmed.
Yo, let me get out there. I'm getting hot. Let me get out there, because every time you bring up Trump, I be ready to trump somebody up their ass. Like, if you want to vote a certain way, but make sure the person you're voting for is not taking the rights away from other people. Vote like you minding your business. When I go to the voting poll and I see something that says we're requiring a group of people to act a certain way, we're going to take this out of schools, that ain't my business. I am not those children's parents. Whatever that parent want to teach their child is their business. Florida, Tennessee, we're looking at y'all motherfuckers. Trying to remove slavery out the history books. All right, so we worship God. Let me get out there because that was a tangent that's not part of the tour.
Love the tangents.
Under God, we have something known as the Loa or the Orisha, also known as spirits for all my witches. They're above man and below God. Any Catholics? Wait. Any recovering Catholics?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right. Hold up. For real? You? I was not expecting you to raise your hand. Wow, really? Wow. Let me ask you a question. How are you dealing with Catholic guilt? Not well? Alright, for those of you who don't know what that means, Catholic guilt, it's whenever a person leaves Catholicism but they feel guilty about it because the Catholic Church is going to make you feel guilty about it. It's a very harsh thing, and people go to their graves feeling that guilt because they be like, I feel so guilty I left this religion because they treated me so well. Did they? Brainwashing is not being treated well. Just because it makes you feel good because when you believe what you're told doesn't mean that it's right or real. You know what feel good growing up? Eating lots of candy until you turn 25. Ain't good no more. All right, who's the Luau the Orisha? Well, they're regular folks like all of us. Look at everybody here. Different colors, different textures, and different sizes. These people are the same. They were born and raised down here on earth in the biblical days. Some of these people were born before that time. Some of these people were born after that time. Some of these people have always existed. But because of the good deeds and the miracles they perform in the name of God. When they died, God elevated them to that middle position above man and below God, known as Loa or Orisha. Patted them on the back and said, hey, you did a marvelous job down there on earth. Here's a spiritual job in a spiritual domain. Now, man, pray to Loa for the pray to God. Catholics sound familiar? Do the same thing. Y'all call them the saints. And I can't leave my brother Jesus out. Jesus and the saints. Uh-oh. Why not leave Jesus out, Robi? You're not Christian, and neither was Jesus. Say it again. He was Jewish by blood, by birth, and by religion. The word Christian didn't start till 1,000 years after that man was in the grave. By the way, stop hating people because of the King James Version of the Bible. Do y'all know what King James was? Like, do y'all know about him being a pedophile, a rapist, being illiterate, can't read or write? Most importantly, he changed passages in the Bible that a lot of Americans are using today to pass laws like man should not lie with a man the way that man lies with a woman. You know the original passage said that man should not lie with a child the way that man lies with a woman? So we hate gay people but love pedophilia. Oh, y'all don't believe me? Look it up. It's all free information. Wait, y'all so surprised. Look it up. All this history is free for y'all to look up. Just log on. You can log into a university website for free. You don't have to be a college student. And read the history for free. You pay taxes for that reason. Now, total coincidence. Don't match those people together. The Luau and the Orisha are not the same as the saints. The Catholics think they came up with the whole above man and below God thing as far as like the saints and stuff like that. And the Catholics fucked up and wrote down they stole that from paganism during the Crusades. But as far as our actual voodoo is concerned, true, raw, pure, authentic African, Haitian, Louisiana voodoo, all this you see in front of you right here, hey, believe it or not, that's it. That's it. Give me my applause. That's all what voodoo is. This begs the next question. Why the fuck we here? We just standing here for 10 minutes. What happened to the blood and the bones and the skulls and the hexes and the curses? That's the journey. We're going to take a spiritual journey back to the 1700s and the 1800s. Every last one of you here, you are now a slave, despite your skin color. And if it makes you uncomfortable, good. Because you probably came from a slave anyway. If you got Irish or Scottish ancestry, your ass came from a damn slave. I'm so sick of that bullshit being left out the history books. If you got Native American ancestry, your ass was you're descendant of a slave. You got Indian, Middle Eastern ancestry, your ass is descendant of a slave. Here's the one that got a lot of people when I dug it up and I actually found the documentation. If you got Norwegian DNA, I know. Surprised the hell out of me. The Vikings were considered to be savages. They were considered to be savages. Even though they weren't. But because they were not Christian, they were considered to be savages. They were enslaved. Y'all, stop this hate, please. That's the journey. We're going to go back to the 1800s. Now, in order for us to figure out how we're going to talk to each other, because you got to remember, the slaves come from many different places in Africa. They can't talk to each other. So many languages. You can have a country this big with 18 languages stuffed in that one country, none of them languages are related to each other. Country right beside of this big, 2 languages, none of those languages are related to each other. How are we going to communicate? Same way my ancestors did it back then, I'm going to live it by product. Any of y'all speak French? Who about going to say? I'm gonna speak to her in my first language. I just want y'all to hear it because even though the slave owners spoke French, the slaves had to communicate, and I want y'all to hear it. I'm gonna try to go slow. Okay, merci. Madame, vous connaissez? Moi, pas parler français. M'parler que louisianais et m'parler que haïtien. Vous comprenez ça, oui? Oh yeah, she understood. She said, okay. I tell her my first language, I don't speak French. That wasn't French. That was Louisiana Creole. You ever heard? Oh, some of y'all look confused. All right. Here's what the Creole language is. Take the French language, throw it in a gumbo pot. That's going to be your root. You can take the best way to describe it is gumbo. You can take the languages out of our mouth. African languages like Kiswahili, Makumba dialect, Zulu, Tosa. Chop them all up into pieces and throw them on top of French and blend them all together. Language gumbo. That's what a Creole language is. I speak two. So I'm going to speak in the two so y'all can hear. Madame, moi, parle Louisiana. I told her Louisiana. I said, Madame, in Louisiana Creole, I speak Louisiana Creole. Et parle Creole haïtien. Haiti. She said haïtien. She said Haiti. And I said in Haitian Creole, I also speak Haitian. Now we got everything we need. Common language, common religion. We're all slaves at the stage, and I'm tired of standing here. Any questions? Let go. Are you two okay back there?
I apologize on behalf of my very sweet and handsome.
That was hilarious. Did you like what I did?
Loved it.
We've
Got a nice ass though.
yeah,
You got it.
I think whoever's watching enjoyed that.
Thank you. Thank you for the tip.
Oh, we do a show that's all comedy, so. All right, so we're moving on. Hope you guys are enjoying that. As I said, any super stickers or anything that come across, I'm going to pass that on to him because he's providing the entertainment. I'm just passing it on to you guys, but it's also knowledge, history, and culture. So thank you for those people who have sent some stickers through. I will pass it on to him. We're still going though. We'll see how long the data holds up.
Notice that? And then the tree is pointing right there to that raised area past my cousin doing the tour over there. This is the area right here that I personally think that this is the most spiritual spot right here in the whole city of New Orleans because there's a connection to the French Quarter, the Native American territory, and the African territory all just kind of linked all together.
I'm just going to jump in. Sorry. Sorry. You can't see a thing.
All right. He's going to do this now. Short people to the front, tall people to the back. Okay. So, the path that leads from the cathedral directly to here. What's the one thing you can do to stop a slave from thinking about their freedom? Block their escape route. On the other side of the cathedral is the Mississippi River. So when the slaves would look back when they had off on Sunday, all they saw was one thing, Jesus, because they were forced to go to Catholic Mass. So there's the path that is right there right now didn't always be right there. It used to be there when they first built the city, then it was covered up, then it was there again, then it was covered up, then it was there again, and finally we have a street named Orleans Street right there, which is a representation of that path. Now, when the slaves were brought over here, France sent a document there to the new patty known as the Black Code, also known as the Code Noir, a list of laws on how to treat your slaves. One of those laws says that all slaves, remember that's all of us, must be off on Sunday. Why? Because all slaves were forced to go to Catholic Mass. They were forced to be Roman Catholic. I'm going to use my magical tour guiding powers. We can make today Sunday. Happy Sunday, y'all. We're off. And after Mass, the slaves had off, so they would run down the path and hop the wall. They come right here. Where you're standing is where they created everything y'all love about the city of New Orleans. I'm going to repeat that. Everything y'all love about this city came from black folks. This is the birthplace of jazz. Bunch of slaves came together and started. Bam, jazz was born. You know they gave birth to most of the music y'all like to listen to today? Pop, rock and roll, neo-soul. Yes, by the way, people, we did rock and roll. I don't know if y'all know y'all history on Elvis Presley, but he was a racist motherfucker. I'm sorry. Y'all can love him to death. But if you look in the background and see the music he stole and how he treated black people, what's written down, yeah, you would not be happy about that. And if you look real closely at Elvis, he don't look slightly Native American to y'all. Okay, let me get off that, because some of y'all feelings about Elvis. All right, well, the slaves created all these things, and one genre of music is the one that pissed off a guy from Alabama on my tour today. Not recently, but country music. Did y'all know that jazz gave birth to American country music? That man was hotter than fish grease. He was 78 years old from Alabama. His face started turning red. All his arms. And then y'all see how crazy I am. I pulled my computer out my pocket and I logged on to the Harvard University website and I pulled up all the information and I showed it to him. And then I had to educate him about what the original cowboys were. How they were black men who had to run out into the cow pasture and wrangle all the cows and bring them back in for the white man to sell. He didn't like that. He was like, no, the original cowboys were white people like John Wayne. I knew this too. I almost laughed as hard as you did whenever he said that shit, but I have to play historian, you know? I'm like, okay. And he said, I knew this tour was a mistake. Our music didn't come from a bunch of monkey niggers. And then he walked up.
No, he didn't.
Oh, yes, he did. Why y'all so surprised? Ask every person of color on this tour today if they still get called a racial slur in 2023.
Yeah, but in your face?
Yeah, he did it in my face. This was last year. Last month, I was walking to my car, this white couple in front of my house. In front of my house. Honey, I didn't know niggers lived in this neighborhood. I said, I know. She said what I looked up, I said, ma'am, what did you just say? She was like, oh, I didn't know you could hear me. I said, bitch, my ancestors built this city. That's why you able to walk down the street. And she, well, why are you offended? I'm the one that's supposed to be upset. You just called me a word. These people in this white privilege, y'all know what I'm talking about. White privilege. Not all white people have privilege. I need to defend some of y'all because I'm so sick of that bullshit. Not all white people have privilege. Y'all do realize there are more poor white people that grew up worse than I did in the United States. What's the name of that family that did the documentary on? They got the Habsburg job in Arkansas. Girl, them po folks interbreeding with each other. And then they refuse to not interbreed with each other in the name of Jesus. Jesus didn't inbreed. I forgot the name of that family. I just watched that documentary. But anyway, I just want to throw it out there. Y'all need to choose y'all terms wisely. Because not all white people are racist and not all black people are out to kill you. Some of us just want to live our lives and raise our children and play video games. That's all we want to do and have as many orgasms as we can. You better stop. I'm single. You better get your man. And I believe in polyamory too. You better get your man. He over here flirting with them pretty blue eyes. You know what they say? I told you already. When you go black, ask him. Do we have any questions before we talk about the voodoo? No questions? All right, so there's 3 oranges right there. I don't know if y'all can see, but when you get a chance, come around and see what you get. One's to represent the past, one's to represent the present, and one's to represent the future. Why? I know who needs to hear this, but I'm not gonna look them directly in their eye. Stop worrying about shit that happened 10 years ago. Let it go. Why you still way back there 10 years ago worry about what somebody said to you and what was done to you when the version of yourself that you were then, you're not that version right now. Yep. And you carrying all that shit with you to 2023? It was 10 years ago. It was 10 years ago. It was 10 years ago. I don't know who needed to hear that, but you gotta let it go. Just let it go. It was 10 years ago. This is a new day. Tomorrow not promised to you. Hence the other orange to represent the future. Y'all might leave this tour right now and get hit by a car out there and may not make it to tomorrow. And you sitting here worrying about what happened 10 years ago? When all you got is right now, the future's not promised to neither one of y'all. And that's why that offering's there. The one in the middle is the most important one. In the present. If you are not happy right now, today, the only person, what's wrong?
There's ants in my legs all over.
They're everywhere.
They're sugar. They're called they're sugar ants. Put a little bit in your hand and then rub it on your leg.
Okay. The bugs, they just love me. I don't know what it is.
We're going to be using that in a few minutes. I'm going to tell y'all what that is in a minute. You got the blood type because we have that thing down here. I said what I needed to say about the person who need to hear that. But all y'all carrying all that baggage from y'all childhood, y'all parents that fucked over you, you're an adult now, and you still treating people around you like your parents are treating you, y'all better start letting that shit go. You'll never be 100% happy. Your parents did the best they could. And if you got some shitty ass parents, you not with them no more. Why are you suffering? That's what that is. And that's why this tree was planted. This tree was planted for the spirit of the river. Her name is Oshun. Right there. That's Oshun. That's all 100% Oshun. Look exactly like that. And so she got the a yellow dress that come way down, and she like to twirl with the dress. But she's the spirit of love. She's the spirit of forgiveness. Read that. Forgiveness. That's a hard one. That's a hard one for a lot of y'all. Forgiveness. She's the spirit of forgiveness, love, drumming, dance. Also, she's big in Mexico. She has a different name in Mexico. I forgot what they call her. But the ladies have these specifically handmade dresses that they wear to come way out here. And you ought to see them ladies. They be twirling around on one toe for like 6 hours. Just a twirling around and just a twirl. And then they only stop to do this. They go, they start twirling again. And they're doing the dances of Oshun because it's the circle of life. It's all one giant circle, and that's what Oshun represents. The river is literally right there, right behind. It's a 10-minute walk in that direction. So Oshun takes oranges, pineapple, white rice, white champagne or pink champagne. She also takes sweet cakes, lots of jewelry. You ever met a bougie woman before? Want the most expensive champagne, feet don't want to touch the ground because it's too dirty. Hair gotta always be on point. Makeup gotta always be on point. Always gotta walk out the house with smelling like glitter. That's what shit. Any questions? Now it's time to do y'all cleaning. Come on.
Just so you know, I did remove that racist mother chucker that was on there making those comments, and I've reported them. Oh yeah, they're on there.
Oh my God.
So I'm not even going to repeat what they said, but they've been reported to YouTube, and their comments have been blocked.
I cannot believe that.
Yep.
That's just...
Yep.
I hope you guys are learning a lot. This is just freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
It's just making you smile.
It is.
Like there is no tomorrow.
He's speaking our language.
He is. He is. Well, we hope you're enjoying it.
And I don't care if I'm using up all my data on it. So be it. This is worth it. What we're all learning here today is a little bit of magic. And some of the things will speak to certain people that need to hear it right now.
Yep.
Got to jostle for a good spot again.
All right, so here we are. Now we've reached our peak. I don't know what to call it. So we hit that part of the tour where you guys are about to start doing some more hand stuff, and I'm about to start helping y'all get. This is, you know what? Let me stop there for a second. I need to tell y'all something. I think with Hollywood telling y'all that we're going around dancing in the graveyard and wearing all black, and we have the black top hat on with the bones around it, and I'm trying to think as many stereotypes as I can. I think because Hollywood has pressed that on y'all so much, it may be hard to believe that we're not associated with that in reality. We're not associated with anything like that as far as black flowing capes with bones at the end. And there's a shop over there across the street called Bloody Mary's Haunted Museum Voodoo Pharmacy. What the fuck is a voodoo pharmacy? Y'all got Catholic pharmacies, a Baptist pharmacies, Episcopalian pharmacies? Like, what's up with that? There's a white lady named Mary who moved down here after Hurricane Katrina. She's from Maine. She's not even from Louisiana, she's from Maine, claiming to be a Louisiana Creole person who cannot speak our language. Blonde hair, blue eyes, selling witchcraft and voodoo combined together like it's this new thing to the public, and people are buying it like it's legit. And all the pagans down here and all the African people like me down here going, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to us? Why are you doing this? And the way she can get away with it because of one word, product. If you can label it as a product, you can sell it. So there's nothing we can do about it except talk about it. So I think with me saying all this stuff about goodness and light, it's kind of putting some of y'all off right now because Hollywood told y'all, oh, this is supposed to be devil worshiping and black magic and spells and hexes. And in reality, I'm scared of a damn snake. Why would I dance with one? I'm just saying. So, let's talk about it. That raised area over there, y'all see it with the metal medallion on the top of it?
Yep.
That raised area is known as the Poto Mitan. I'm gonna repeat that. Poto Mitan. That means the center of the ceremony. Most of the voodoo rituals took place around that central point back in the 1700s and 1800s, right? Before then, the Native Americans, specifically the Homa Native Americans, they had a wooden pole right there. And this wooden pole went way up in the air, and they carved the faces of the deities on that wooden pole. And it had some deer leather just flapping in the wind at the end of it like that. And that was where they did their rituals. But the French believe that if it's not Catholic, it's devil worshiping, not inside the Bible, it's black magic. So when the French saw that, what do you think they did? they burned it down. But when the Africans had off on Sunday, they would hop the wall, and the Native Americans would tell them, hey, that's what we used to do ritual. That's the most spiritual center in the city. So the Africans started doing voodoo rituals around there, and the natives are like, well, they're doing ritual, we might as well too. So they combined religions together. That's how New Orleans voodoo was born. So New Orleans voodoo is a combination of the Native American religions and the African religions. Out of all the Louisiana voodoo sects, out of all of them, which one is no longer existing? New Orleans voodoo. For those of you who keep hearing people say, oh, we're New Orleans voodoo priests, we practice New Orleans voodoo, they are lying. New Orleans voodoo died out in 1902. That was the last surviving person that spoke New Orleans Creole and also knew the initiation rites and trials in order to be part of that religion. If anybody says anything otherwise, they are making it up, i.e. Bloody Mary Haunted Museum Voodoo Pharmacy. The only voodoo that's left in Louisiana is Louisiana Plantation Voodoo, Louisiana Cajun Voodoo. All my Canadians and all my Parisians on the tour should know who they are. And then we also have the Native American variants that are still alive as well. We're going to do the plantation voodoo version of a cleansing today in representation of all y'all ancestors that were out here dancing and taking care of each other. And I mean all y'all ancestors. Take a look at your hands. Look at your hands. Those two hands help you raise your children. Those two hands you went to school with. Those two hands are your two best friends. You cannot do anything with those two hands. Anything. They're the reason why some of y'all are here physically in this form right here in front of me today. And like I said before, energy can either be created, destroyed, etc., etc., etc. Do you know that applies to other forms of energy as well, including that spark that's in your heart that's making your heart go boom, 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 coursing all that blood through your veins. Some of y'all go to bed every night with anxiety and depression. Every night. Laying in that damn bed with racing thoughts, crying, shaking, having anxiety attacks. And what this country wants you to do, reach over to the other side of the bed and grab that zombie pill bottle. Y'all call them antidepressants. Pop that damn thing in your mouth and lay in that damn bed and wake up the next morning not feeling shit. You don't feel happy, you don't feel sad, you don't feel upset, you just there. And then you think that's the way you're supposed to live your life. Child, go to Greenland and go to Iceland. Let me give you a little secret. When you start to feel anxiety and depression at night, right before you go to bed or while you lay in the bed, get up! Get up! Go in the bathroom and go to the faucet and turn on the cold, cold, cold water. Make sure that water cold as you can get it. If you could take a shower, that'd be actually better. Turn on the cold shower. Run your hands under that cold water for about 10 minutes. Hop in the shower for about 10 minutes under that cold, cold water. And I promise you, once you lay your ass back in the bed, your ass can go straight to sleep. Wait a minute, Robi, this sounds like some water magic. It is. It is. I'm just going to use science to back it up. The reason is, I need some backup on that one. I'm so sick of these people. That sound like magic. What's so wrong with magic? Houdini made a living out of it.
Can you guys give this feed a thumbs up, please?
Still,
Thank you.
what's wrong with it? Magic and number science is unexplained. Shit. Anyway, I'm about to explain it so y'all don't, those of you uncomfortable with the word magic. The reason why you have anxiety and depression is because your brain is releasing, no, not your brain. Your body is releasing one hormone, cortisol, your adrenaline gland. All of us live, some of y'all about to get in y'all feelings. So all of us live in an instant gratification world, which means that your brain is constantly producing serotonin. What does that mean? Y'all love doing this. Not realizing that's forced that part of the brain just produce serotonin. Serotonin, dopamine, serotonin. Sooner or later, that part of the brain gonna have to rest. When is it gonna rest? When you decide to lay your ass in the bed and go to sleep. Now there's no happy hormones to balance out your fight or flight hormone known as cortisol. Now you're starting to feel anxiety and depression because you spent the whole day working that part of the brain that's supposed to be stabilizing all of that. When you put your hands under that cold water, hop in a cold shower, you're shocking your body and making the brain think the body's in distress, like in a desert or a tundra. The body's going to start regulating hormones trying to survive. So it's going to start reproducing more dopamine and serotonin, and that balances out the cortisol, and that's why your ass goes straight to sleep. And if you don't believe me that this works, try it. Want to know why? It's free! Now, as much as I want to see some of y'all take a shower and be naked today, I can't have that, can we? Thank you for wearing those pants. I can see enough. Oh, I'm not mad about it. That's not a complaint. I love when dudes walk out the house and they proud of their package. I love that, baby. Thank you for showing me. Because I've been staring the entire time. Since I can't make y'all take a shower, I'm going to do exactly what I made my sister do when she was getting ate by ants. We're going to use some Florida water today to cleanse y'all of all of that. Now, I know some of y'all know what Florida water is if you're part of the pagan traditions and also the African traditions and also the indigenous traditions. Every indigenous, because all paganism, indigenous, Native American, and Africans, yeah, all of those are indigenous religions. We all have a Florida water, which is half alcohol, half water with a bunch of herbs in there. Traditionally, we're supposed to use moonshine. I had to stop using moonshine because some dude on my tour, he showed his mama, and he was throwing up at the on the ancestor altar. He was throwing up.
Oh no!
I thought it was so ironic because he was. Yes, think about it. So I think you would think. No, he went straight to the and threw it up, and I went, how ironic. You disrespected me, and now you're throwing up on my ancestors, and they looking down at you, laughing at you like a dumb idiot. That's cool. All right, so this one is full of cinnamon, rosemary, sage. I picked the mountain sage myself from Washington State. Now, I don't know if y'all been to Washington, but they got mountain sage that grow everywhere. And it's so distinguishable. And they got wild blueberries, they got wild service berries. It's a fucking Eden up there. I need to go back. Anyway, but I picked a bunch of herbs and put them in here. Now, I took this bottle to my mama's house. My mama's a priestess. And when I left the house, I come home, it smelled like her. My mama took the bottle and added her own scent to it. She added her own herbs and stuff. So don't thank me for this. You thank my mama. Because she's the priestess. Yeah, I knew like, as soon as you smelled it, I was like, oh, she's going to smell it.
Relaxing me too, like.
Yep, and that's exactly what we're about to do. We're about to go relax y'all. We're going to take y'all over here to the Potomac. I'm going to have you cup your hands over the spiritual center. I'm going to put a little bit of the holy water in your hands, and I want you to rub. And I want y'all to release all that negative energy, all that baggage, all that turmoil. All of y'all coming from these racist families. Let me tell you something about your racist family. You know how them dumbass motherfuckers keep saying that silence is compliance? I'm going to say that again, because some of y'all think that silence is compliance is actually a bad thing. You know how them dumbass motherfuckers are telling y'all that silence is compliance? Put yourself in a racist family and try to say something. Silence isn't compliance. Silence is protection. And I'm so sick and tired of people who are not racist getting persecuted for something that they are not. You can leave all that behind today. I don't care what background you come from. You can leave that family that hates people who are gay and straight and trans and hate people who are people of color. You can leave them. And if you're not in a position to leave them, then you do not have to condone them. You can stay silent while they spit all this out because they're saying it, not you. And being silent just means that you're not participating. It doesn't mean that you agree or you're complying to them. I hate that shit. Leave all that shit right there at that altar right there. Leave it all there. All y'all have a good life. You got less than 100 years. That's all you got. Less than 100 years on this damn rock. Flying through space at 32,000 kilometers per hour. And you sitting here being depressed and angry and upset every goddamn night over somebody who ain't paying your car note, your cell phone bill, ain't paying your car insurance, ain't giving you shit in your life, and you sitting there dwelling on what they done did to you. When you got a whole future waiting on you, what you can do for yourself. We about to get rid of that shit today. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. And when we get out there, those of you who are up there first, when I put the holy water in your hand, you start to rub and you're doing all this stuff, breathe in, take a step back so the people behind you can take a step forward and they can receive theirs. And then I want y'all to take 3 deep breaths and let that shit, let it out. I had the lady, she was crying the other day. She, ooh, give me some more Robi. She rubbing. She was stomping on her coworker's neck. and she, yes, good for her. Yes, exactly. And she felt so great after. She was like, Robi, I feel like a weight's been lifted off me. I was like, nobody deserves that shit. Nobody deserves to have all that living life like this here, just getting heavier. Who deserves that? If you want to live your life that way, don't involve me. Any questions?
I have a bottle like that for almost 20 years.
Me too.
The
Yes.
sun from it getting
Do
burnt.
you mind if I talk about it? Okay, so she just said she has a bottle like this that's 20 years old. When our grandmothers and our mothers and our parents give us these bottles, we don't destroy them, and we never empty them out. You just refill it with the alcohol and the water. The one I have from my grandmother is 30 years old at the house. I will not use it anymore because I'm scared something bad's going to happen to it. I might drop it or something. But the herbs in there were picked whenever I was a little child. Me and her picked those herbs together. that's still in that bottle. And I look at them every time I miss out. So we don't throw these away, just so y'all know. And if someone happens to give this to you as a gift, because we do that too, when we make fresh batches, do yourself a favor. Yes. Make tiny little bottles of it. Save one. Always save one. Never use it. So 20, 30 years down the line, if you ever want to remember, like whenever you were blessed by something, you can just open that bottle and take a little whiff and breathe in that nostalgia and be reminded of the person you used to be, so you can be happy about the person you became. I just needed to add to that. I'm done talking now because, you know, I've been doing a lot of talking. Y'all ready to go do-do?
Yeah.
Do. Come on, get your husband first.
All right. So what I'll do is I will video Renata getting her hands washed, and then I'm going to have to end up so I can get my turn. But from what I can see, we got $10 American and $7.99 Australian, so it's about 15 American. I will pass that on to him. Can't see the bloody screen, it's so dark.
Oh, my bad, brother. My bad. I didn't mean to. This is your heritage, so I need you to get this done. Yeah, I need you to come from. There we go. You got to stand on it.
Yeah, I'm sixth generation that I know of.
Yeah, me too, actually. Yeah. You know, you got to do this is your heritage, so I got to do all that stuff. Come on, Queen.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Up a little closer to me.
Okay. Thanks, guys. We'll finish up there.
This is our holidays.